So hi everyone, I am right now in Chengdu, and when I'm in Chengdu, of course, the first place I would go would be to a earphone show. So we are having the Chengdu International Headphone Show 2023 being held this weekend on the 20th and 21st of May. So there are some new releases so far, and one of them, I just went for the press release. It's for the DDhifi X Moondrop Janus 2023. It's brand new. They have 1 or 2 demo units out there, and I'll definitely go and listen to them in a bit. Okay, so as you can see, I'm at the QDC booth right now, and I just tried out their brand new release. This is the Folk. And honestly, the Folk, it's not a very expensive IEM from QDC. What I like about it is that it actually sounds really good when it comes to vocals. It is a very mid-centric earphone. Not to say that the tonal weight is actually very thick, but you get to hear most of the mids. So the mids are very lively and energetic. So, and I would say that's a highlight. Bass is still present, it's just not as prominent as the mid-range. So for those of you who are absolute mid-heads, I think you'll really like them. It's one of those from QDC that I absolutely adore. Well, my favorite is still the VX, but you know that this is a close chifi second. So as you can see, these are the VX. These are like one of my favorites. If I could own them in custom form, I would absolutely really like them. Yeah, until today, I still think that the shell is really beautiful. If you have the chance to listen to it, I really highly urge you to do so. It is very clean, crisp. I really like the mid-range on this. This mid-range forward earphone is absolutely the beast. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, right here I'm at the Moondrop X DDhifi booth. What they have is they recently just announced the Janus 2023, and this is a very interesting earphone. So if you remember the original Janus back in 2020, it features a very quirky 2-pin MMCX design. This time around it does not have the 2-pin and MMCX, it's just purely MMCX. You can only use it via one termination, but the thing is, you can wear it very comfortably in both over-ear and just drop-down manner. So it is actually quite interesting. And I just heard it honestly, so my first thought about it is that it is visibly very V-shaped sounding, but bass extension actually goes really low. So if you're one of those type of people who absolutely adores bass and likes a very coherent sort of sound, I think the Janus 2023 is something that is very, very cool. Okay, so right now I'm here at the Tanchjim booth, and recently they also just had the brand new Kara. So I just heard the Kara, and it is quite interesting. So this is basically a 4-driver unit. This is basically a 5-driver unit, 1 dynamic driver paired with 4 balanced armature. And on the whole, this is very harmonious in terms of tuning. So if you've heard of pretty much quite a lot of earphones out there, it sounds kind of like that. But one thing to note though, I find that the BA tone in this is quite prominent and it's quite nice. So if you like that very kind of smooth response, please do give them a listen. So my first impressions are very favorable. The mid bass is really punchy. What you get with the vocals, it's a very typical BA type of bass. So it's smooth. Details are still rather good on these. And what I really like is the design of the shell. The shell is basically transparent looking. So you can really look at the drivers and look at the crossover design inside it. It is fully enclosed. So, you know, I received a comment asking whether is the bottom part of the Kara, is it actually open? It's not. You cannot use your toothpicks to go and poke holes in it, that kind of thing. You can't really do much of that. It is basically plastic, but on the whole, is it really nice? I honestly think it's not too bad, and I rather enjoy it. Okay, so the IEM you're seeing here, these are the brand new Tanchjim one. So the thing about the one is that it is first released at this Chengdu show, and you know, I just heard it. What I like about it is that it is basically a single dynamic driver REM that this time around has a 2-pin, 0.78 2-pin termination. For those of you who like to change cable, it is absolutely awesome. Then in terms of tuning, it is a bit more mid-high centric. So if you're the type of person who likes to listen to any song or J-pop or those type of music that requires a slightly elevated mid-highs, I think you'll really enjoy these. For me, I personally really like listening to any song and J-pop with it. Now I'm at the Hiby booth, and you know Hiby makes awesome DAPs that has awesome Android integration. So recently they have their latest R6 Pro 2, and this is one where I saw at Chengdu, Singapore. It features a very different design language compared to the traditional Hiby series. Like I actually used the RS6 quite a bit, so it looks completely different from that, and I really enjoy the look. Internally, it has dual DAC, Asahi Kasei AK4499EX, as well as the M chip AK4191. So you see, this is the new R6 Pro 2. It features a very different from the traditional Hiby design. It doesn't have the rotary thingamajig. Now this time round it's just being handled by all buttons, and internally it has Android. So if you are lazy like me and like to use Apple Music, you can to its full advantage. You can make use of the AK4499EX chip and the M chip, the AK4191. So basically it does all your DSD to whatever amount that you like. Yeah, but generally for me this is a streaming machine that I would very much like to use. So I'm here now at the Ikko booth, and Ikko has just recently released their brand new IEM, the OH300. So I had the first listen. Now the OH300, to be honest with you, it's a very friendly, fun sort of sound. It has a lot of mid-bass boost and vocals are thick sounding. I don't think they are very expensive, but they are certainly one of the more fun sounding earphones I've tried at this convention. Okay, so hi ladies and gentlemen, today I'm back here in the show. Well, this is day 2 and it's not so crowded right now. I finally got the chance to try the Aful Performer 8 and this is really new. I think it's going to be released in June, which is very soon. So the Performer 8 is an IEM that I think is very different from what is out there at the moment. Tonally, it's not as heavy. The current trend is that people kind of focus on tonal weight being a little bit more thicker, a bit more warm. This is very delicate and very intricate, so it's very different. I find it extremely good for things such as J-pop or things that focus a bit more on upper mids, but it does not sound really that hot. So for those of you who are a bit more sensitive to upper mids being a little bit shrilly, this is not. This is actually pretty smooth and really quite nice. I hope to be able to review this very soon. So I'm right now at another booth. This time around it's the Quloos booth, I think that's how it's pronounced. So they have some oddities right here, and I heard one of their latest products. This is the MUB one, as you can see over here. So what this is a powered Bluetooth receiver DAC amp. So it's basically a huge Bluetooth dongle. You can just connect your phone to this via Bluetooth, or if you want to use it as a traditional dongle, you can also use it via USB Type-C. It works the same way. It's really powerful. So what I like about it is that, you know, Bluetooth, it's people tend to think for those type of receivers, they tend to lack a bit of power, but this has a lot of power. I've tested it with some rather hard to drive IEMs. It really drives them quite well, and I think the sound is kind of close to wired, although not exactly, but for what it is really quite nice. Also, another thing is that you can also traditionally use it as a desktop dongle DAC thing. You just want a better sound quality, you can just plug it into your computer and it'll work as such. Yeah, so if you have some of those tougher to drive IEMs, this is one that can definitely drive it quite well. So magic happens and I'm at another booth. This time around I'm at Luxury and Precision. So previously I did review the Luxury and Precision W2. Today they released their W4, which is brand new, and I think it looks really good, you know, in terms of design. I like the off-centered shape of it. And well, with regards to sound, it has the Luxury and Precision sound. It's very spacious. Lows are very well controlled, especially coming from a dongle. Dongles usually don't have a lot of power, but these are, you know, quite something. They can actually tame some rather hard to drive IEMs quite well. And they really have a sort of look that just shouts Luxury and Precision. I mean, the ID, it's really quite nice. I find that the knob to change the volume is actually extremely convenient. Also, when it's dingly dangly, you might not really hit it so often. So yeah, I kind of enjoy it. So yeah, it's Luxury and Precision. Their dongles are still pretty amazing. Alright, so I'm back here at the Lotoo booth, and you know, Lotoo, I've been very excited since Tanchjim Singapore. I've heard the Mjolnir and it's one of my favorite things. It can really replace the Auralic Vega that I use in my system. It's a bit old now, but I think the Vega is still kind of good. It's just that it doesn't have the latest connectivity such as 4.4 headphone jack out, which makes life a lot easier because since these days I use the headphone jack a bit more and I really like balance. It synergizes well with my amplifier. There's basically RCA TRS out into my amplifier, and yeah, it's very useful. So I'm waiting for this to be input into my system. So this is the Mjolnir. It looks absolutely, well, it's not really that massive. It's actually very manageable, but it's not also a DAP. It's more like a transport. You just leave it at home and it's amazing that way. And yeah, so that was basically the gist of the Chengdu show. It was really quite fun to be in China, to go to their local shows and to see out what's new. What was interesting was the Moondrop and DDhifi. It was particularly interesting for Moondrop because Moondrop is located in Sichuan, so it's kind of like their home base where they actually want to release something there to make it a little bit more special. If you'd like to see this type of comments, please let me know right down in the comments below, and a like would be great and a subscribe would be even more awesome. With that said, I hope to see you guys soon.